What up, guys? Carolina Jackpot coming at you. It is Thursday, September the 3rd, and we got some college football tonight. I don't know if this is week 1, week 0, week -1. I don't really know what we're calling this one. Got a few games on the docket this weekend, and a couple of them tonight. First off, at 8 p.m. over on ESPN3, you have the Central Arkansas Bears of the Southland Conference getting quite the national exposure the past couple weeks, traveling to Birmingham to take on the UAB Blazers. That game, there's no line there associated with this. I guess if you dug into some offshore sports book, maybe you could find one on it. But I go off what's on CBS Sports, and the over-under on that game is 50.5. Just looking at these two teams, so we saw Central Arkansas kind of come from behind last week, win 24-17 at home against Austin Peay. The quarterback didn't play particularly well, still tossed one touchdown against 2 interceptions. So they need to clean that up a little bit, facing a much tougher task tonight in UAB. Now, of course, this is UAB's first game of the season. And just looking over them, last year had a record of 9-5, 6-2 in Conference USA. Kind of predicted to maybe finish up first in Conference USA West this year. Now, I don't know how all that's going to play out now with the coronavirus stuff, but they were returning 10 starters on offense. I don't think that they had anybody to opt out. I don't remember when I did my video. I don't remember doing anyone from UAB on there. So about 10 starters on offense coming back, including their quarterback, running back, all their skill players, and an entire offensive line. So that's huge. That's huge. Anybody in the country would love to have that. On defense, they returned most of the playmakers over there, too. Looks like about 9 starters returning there. An over-under of 50.5. Looking at UAB last year, they didn't particularly fare too well on offense. Finished up ranked number 105 in the country, number 102 in scoring offense. Pretty bad. And they were held under 10 points last year on 3 different occasions. One time held to 2 points. So their offense obviously didn't score in that game at Southern Miss. Still went 9-5, though, with a bowl loss to App State. I know all about losing to them. And 50.5 is not a ton of points. I get the fact that the team will probably be a little rusty. This is their first game, first time out. Central Arkansas was out last week, so you're going to have to kind of elevate your game a little bit because of the fact that they have weeks of experience under their belt. 50 is not a lot of points. With all this returning production on offense, I think that UAB, I think they win the game. By how much, I'm not quite sure on that one, but I do think that this game covers the 50.5 point over-under figure. 9 p.m. over on CBS Sports Net, you have the South Alabama Jaguars of the Sun Belt Conference going on the road to Hattiesburg, Mississippi to take on the Southern Miss Golden Eagles of Conference USA. Now, this is another team that went to a bowl last year and is projected to have a pretty decent season. They are returning their quarterback, Jack Abraham, but need to replace a running back and a couple of receivers there. I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, the one kid, Jalen Adams, I believe is his name, is the one that opted out. I know they had one over on their defensive side of the ball. There are 3 guys that opted out from Southern Miss, and their names escape me right now. But that will have a Raheem Booth was one of them, linebacker. That's kind of a name it's kind of a name you don't forget. It's kind of a different name, I guess. Mr. Booth opted out along with 2 other people. They are a 13-point favorite over the University of South Alabama, and you look at that and say, well, that seems a little bit low to me. But South Alabama, they're returning all of their offensive line. The entire offensive line there is returning. A couple of receivers returning as well. They'll have to replace a quarterback. and a running back too. So you're looking at kind of a feeling out process for these two teams there. South Alabama has played tough against some of the better teams in stretches in the past few years. You remember they kind of gave Nebraska a run for their money last year. Nebraska scored a couple of late touchdowns to put that one away. They ended their season up last year with an upset win over Arkansas State, or they would have finished actually 1-10, as it were. They finished up, or they would finish 1-11. Excuse me. They finished up 2-10. Just looking at that, 2-10, same coach. You're going on the road, taking on a team that where Southern Miss is not a juggernaut by any means, but they're an above average team in Conference USA. The quarterback that they have returns with the most passing yards returning in the Conference USA, and you're replacing a couple of guys over in your secondary for South Alabama. Defense last year wasn't terrible. Your pass defense finished 48th. So there's that. You're going on the road, and I get it that a road game is really, this year, is it really even a true road game? Because there are basically going to be no to very little fans in attendance. I wouldn't expect to see more than a few thousand people in the bleachers this game tonight, if in fact fans are going to be let in at all. I'm not sure on that one. But just judging from all that, I look for Southern Miss to cover the spread in this game, probably win this game by about 3 touchdowns. I don't think South Alabama's very good. A lot of improvement to do there, and they're facing a tall drink of water tonight in the Golden Eagles. Even though they have had some players opt out, I think that their backups will step up, and they will be just fine. That's my picks and predictions for these two games this evening. Play this video back later on, see if I was right, or see if I stubbed my toe a little bit in week 0, 1, -1, whatever it is. All right. I'll see y'all later, guys. Make sure you tune into those games tonight. Perush wrote it. Push. And I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks. Woo!